you can see from here I am able to select my start date. Let us say start date is 5th. Now end date, when I am selecting, I cannot select anything before this date. So this is all are disabled, so I have to go beyond this 5th. Now let us say I have selected the end date as 26th. Now I have selected it. Now if I am going back here, you can see I cannot change my start date to after 26th. So this is automatically, these portions are disabled. Now let me just change it to 11. Now once I am selected, now here you can see the my end date, I cannot go before 11. So these are all disabled for me. I can change this my end date here. Let us say it's 25th. Now again this will be disabled up to 25th. So I can select any start date, but nothing beyond 26th. This will code in our jQuery calendar script. This address is available in your description. You can go there and go to UI basic structure, copy this, we'll paste it here. We strongly advise you to read the part 1 of this video tutorial, so you can understand how we will format a calendar and how we will use the data and collect the user selection. Now let us start from input type text, ID is equal to our date picker 1, because we will be using a one more date picker. So we will giving size is equal, let's say give a size of 10. Now placeholder is for our users to understand what it is, the 1. Now let's close this. Okay, now we'll go use the second one. We'll just copy this, paste it here. Now we'll change the ID to date picker 2. Rest of the things remain same. Come back to our jQuery part of it. Now in the part 1 of the tutorial, you have seen how we have declared a calendar and formatted. The same technique we will use here, but before that, this time we will declare two global variables, start date and end date, because this will be using inside our. So let us comment this part. Okay, this is our main code is here. Now let us first create the calendars. Now this is the ID of date picker we are using, date picker 1. Now this is a date picker, so we will use this. Okay, now let us close this. This is our first date picker. Now we'll inside this we will date format. We have already used in our tutorial 1 how the different formats work, and you can see we will be using the YY. Okay, you are DDMMYY, you can change it to any other format you want. Now this is date picker 1. What we will do, we will copy this code, put it again. Now let me scroll down here. So this will make it to date picker 2. So two date pickers are there. You can see here we have used ID 2 here, so I have connected to 2 here. Before, above that, date picker 1, so I am using the date picker 1 here. So the ID is here. Now let us save this, come back here, refresh this. Okay, now let us use. You can see we have two date calendars are showing anything, but they are not, so far they are not linked, they are independent calendars. Now to this we will add our code, so these two calendars will be linked to each other. After initiating the two calendars, let us now start giving interlocks to them. So let us make it another part. Fine, here we will start. We will make it that first we will pick up the date picker 1, Now here we will use the change event of this change function. Now let us close this first. Yeah, this is the change event that will happen whenever we change the selection in first calendar or date picker 1. So inside this we will assign start date value to our start date. We have declared here as at here you can see start date we have declared it as global variable. So start date will assign the value of what we have selected now, or what is the selection of date picker 1. Now start date is equal to, we will say this, because we already, this is the first one. Now date picker, we will use the get date. Get date will collect the date and store it in our start date. So now we got the start date from here. Now let us go. Now this we will assign to the minimum date for the second date picker. So we will pick up the element. Now date picker 2, and this again date picker function, this is our function. Now option, now we are assigning the minimum date of date picker 2. So that is equal to variable start date. Understand this code. This is the for the second, this line is important. Let me slightly extend this so you can understand it better. Fine. Now see this code. You can see here we are in this line for the second date picker or date picker 2, where we are declaring at end date. Its minimum date option we are setting to value to our start date. Start date is the selected date for the first date picker. Okay, here we are assigning the data to this variable. So this will help in interlocking. Okay, now this is what we have done for the first one. Now let us exactly the same thing we will do for the second one, but slightly we will change this. Now let us copy this code, paste it here. Okay, now let us see, it is now date picker 2. Once something is selected in the any date is selected in the second date picker, that will be our end date. We will change this to end date. End date, get date same. Now date picker 1's option of this minimum date, we will make it max date. Is here we will make it end date. Instead of start date, this is end date. See, there are two change events. This date picker 2 change event is we are writing here. Once the date picker 2 any selection is changed, then the end date value is populated with the whatever is selected. Now that value we are assigning here as maximum date for date picker 1. Let us see how this code works. I have saved it, refreshed it. If there is no error, fine. So let us see, let me select 10th, fine. Now let us go here. You can see the all the dates before this is disabled. Why it is? Because the moment I have selected this 10th as the date, this part of the code gets executed. This is the code. Now what it does, it first picks up the start date, whatever I am selecting, then assigned the minimum date. Here you see the minimum date. Minimum date it fixed to my start date. Start date is the date selected in the first drop down list. So again let us do it. So 10th I am selecting. Now for second drop down, the minimum date is fixed to 10. So I cannot go minimum this. Now let me select 26th as second drop down. Now 26th, once I selected, this part of the code gets executed. Was this up to this the code, because it's a change function. Now 26th moment I have selected, you can see I cannot go beyond 26 now, because moment I am because here I have in the second drop down I have selected 26. So that is taken as maximum date for the date picker 1. This line is says that fix the maximum date for first calendar. So first calendar date is, but this is the data taken from the second calendar used as maximum date for the first calendar. This is how we can change. Even if we change it also, now let us say we will put it as 18. So once we put it as 18, now you can see this figure is also changed, because it will not allow me go beyond before that, because it is the minimum date of the second calendar is reassigned to, or where data is changed to 18th now.